Jealousy is a normal human emotion when it's reasonable. These people became jealous over things so stupid, petty, and absurd that everyone who witnessed it lost respect for them immediately. 1. A woman became jealous of her boyfriend's dog and the attention he gave the pet. She'd get angry when he pet the dog. She'd complain when he talked to the dog in a cute voice. She'd get upset when the dog sat on the couch between them. She demanded he choose between her and the dog. She said the dog was getting more affection than her. She'd move the dog off the couch aggressively. She'd refuse to be in the same room if he was petting the dog. She started arguments about the dog daily. She gave him an ultimatum: the dog goes or she does. He chose the dog without hesitation. She was shocked he'd pick a dog over her. He explained that the dog wasn't irrationally jealous and was better company. Friends took his side completely. Everyone thought she was insane for being jealous of a pet. She tried dating other people and complained about their pets too. Men stopped dating her when they learned she hated pets. The stupidity was being jealous of a dog, competing with a pet for attention, giving ultimatums about animals, thinking a boyfriend would choose you over his beloved pet, and destroying your relationship by being jealous of something that can't threaten you. 2. A man became jealous of his wife's book club and the time she spent reading and socializing with friends. He'd complain every time she went to book club meetings. He'd say she cared more about books than him. He'd get angry when she read at home. He said reading was ignoring him. He demanded she quit the book club. He'd interrupt her reading constantly. He'd hide her books. He'd call and text repeatedly during book club meetings. He said if she loved him, she'd spend that time with him instead. She explained she went to book club once weekly for 2 hours. He said that was 2 hours she was choosing books over him. He became increasingly controlling about her time. She divorced him after a year. In divorce proceedings, she cited his jealousy of her reading as a major factor. The judge looked at him with disbelief. He lost friends who thought being jealous of books was insane. He tried dating again, but women refused second dates when they learned he'd been jealous of reading. The stupidity was being jealous of books, feeling threatened by your wife reading, trying to control someone's hobby and friendships, thinking 2 hours weekly was choosing books over you, and getting divorced because you were jealous of a book club. 3. A woman became jealous of her husband's deceased wife and demanded he remove all photos and never mention her. She knew he was a widower when they married. She agreed his late wife was part of his past. After marriage, she became increasingly jealous of a dead woman. She demanded he remove photos of his late wife from his home. She threw away his late wife's belongings he'd kept. She became angry when he visited his late wife's grave. She said he should be over it by now. She forbade him from talking about his late wife to anyone. She said keeping memories meant he didn't love her. His children from his first marriage were horrified. They confronted her about erasing their mother. She said she was his wife now and the past didn't matter. His children stopped visiting. He chose his children and his late wife's memory over his jealous second wife. He filed for divorce. He told everyone she'd been jealous of a deceased woman. People thought she was disturbed. She couldn't understand why everyone sided with him. The stupidity was being jealous of a dead person, trying to erase someone's deceased spouse from memory, thinking you could compete with someone who died, destroying relationships with stepchildren by disrespecting their deceased mother, and losing your marriage by being jealous of someone who can't threaten you. 4. A man became jealous of his girlfriend's male gynecologist and demanded she switch to a female doctor. She'd been seeing the same gynecologist for years. He suddenly decided he was uncomfortable with a male doctor examining her. He said no man should see her that way. She explained it was medical care. He said he didn't care. It made him jealous. He demanded she find a female gynecologist immediately. She refused because she trusted her current doctor. He became increasingly agitated about her annual appointments. He'd ask intrusive questions about examinations. He accused her of enjoying the appointments. She was horrified by his jealousy of medical care. She explained gynecologists see dozens of patients daily and it's clinical. He said that didn't matter. She broke up with him over his irrational jealousy. She told friends he'd been jealous of her gynecologist. Everyone thought he was insane. He tried to justify it by saying he was being protective. Nobody agreed. His next girlfriend left him when he expressed the same jealousy about her doctor. The stupidity was being jealous of a medical professional, sexualizing gynecological care, trying to control your girlfriend's healthcare choices, thinking doctors are attracted to patients during examinations, and losing relationships by being jealous of medical professionals doing their jobs. 5. A woman became jealous of her boyfriend's female therapist and accused them of having an affair. He'd started therapy for anxiety. His therapist was a woman. His girlfriend became convinced something inappropriate was happening. She'd ask detailed questions about therapy sessions. She demanded to know what they talked about. She accused him of having feelings for his therapist. She showed up at the therapist's office unannounced. She demanded the therapist stop seeing him. Security escorted her out. His therapist recommended he address the relationship issues. He tried explaining therapy as professional and confidential. She said if nothing was wrong, he'd tell her everything discussed. She gave him an ultimatum: quit therapy or they're done. He chose therapy and ended the relationship. She called his therapist's office repeatedly, leaving threatening messages. The therapist had to get a restraining order. He filed a police report. She faced legal consequences for harassment. Everyone in their social circle thought she was unhinged. The stupidity was being jealous of a therapist, sexualizing mental health care, harassing a medical professional, thinking therapy involves romantic feelings, and facing legal consequences by being jealous of someone helping your boyfriend with anxiety. 6. A man became jealous of his wife's pregnancy and the attention she received from friends and family. She announced her pregnancy and everyone was excited. Family called to congratulate her and ask about her health. Friends threw her a baby shower. He became increasingly resentful. He complained that everything was about her. He said nobody cared about him anymore. He demanded equal attention. At the baby shower, he interrupted to talk about himself. He complained loudly that all the gifts were for the baby and her. He said he was going to be a father too, but nobody cared. Family was horrified. His wife's friends told her he was being ridiculous. His own family told him to grow up. He refused to attend pregnancy appointments because they focused on her. She went alone. At the birth, he complained that everyone was paying attention to her and the baby. Nurses asked him to leave. His wife's family supported her through delivery without him. She filed for divorce after giving birth. Custody arrangements gave him minimal time because of his behavior. Everyone thought he was pathetic for being jealous of his pregnant wife. The stupidity was being jealous of your pregnant wife, competing with your unborn child for attention, expecting equal focus when you're not carrying a baby, ruining your child's birth by complaining, and losing your family by being jealous of pregnancy. 7. A woman became jealous of her husband's video game character and the time he spent customizing and playing the game. He played an online role-playing game. He'd created a female character. She became convinced he had feelings for the fictional character. She'd make comments about him spending time with her. She said he customized the character to look like his ideal woman. He explained it was just a game character. She demanded he delete the character or play a male character. She'd get upset when he played the game. She said he was choosing the character over her. She monitored his playtime and accused him of addiction. She threw away his gaming console during an argument. He was furious she destroyed his property. She said she was freeing him from his obsession. He divorced her over the incident and her irrational jealousy. Therapy revealed she had deep insecurity issues. Friends couldn't believe she'd been jealous of pixels on a screen. Dating became difficult because men avoided her after hearing she'd been jealous of a video game character. The stupidity was being jealous of a fictional character, thinking a video game avatar was romantic competition, destroying property over jealousy, expecting your spouse to choose you over pixels, and getting divorced by being jealous of a character that doesn't exist. 8. A man became jealous of his girlfriend's celebrity crush and forbade her from watching movies with that actor. She mentioned finding a celebrity attractive. He became irrationally angry. He said having a crush on anyone else was cheating. She explained celebrities are unattainable fantasy. He said it didn't matter. Thinking someone else was attractive meant she didn't love him. He made her promise never to watch movies with that actor. He checked her viewing history. When he found she'd watched a movie with the actor, he accused her of betrayal. He demanded she apologize for watching it. She said it was just a movie. He said she'd chosen the celebrity over him. She broke up with him for being controlling. He told people she'd cheated on him by watching movies. Everyone laughed at him. His friends said he was insane to be jealous of someone she'd never meet. He insisted celebrities count as emotional affairs. Mental health professionals he spoke to explained this was irrational jealousy. He refused to accept it. He remained single because women found his jealousy disturbing. The stupidity was being jealous of a celebrity your girlfriend will never meet, considering watching movies cheating, trying to control what someone watches, thinking fantasy crushes are threats, and remaining alone because you're jealous of unattainable famous people. 9. A woman became jealous of her boyfriend's mother in the close relationship they had. He was close with his mother and spoke to her regularly. His girlfriend became resentful of their relationship. She'd make comments about him being a mama's boy. She'd get upset when he called his mother. She demanded he choose between them. She said a man can't have two women in his life. She refused to attend family events if his mother was there. She'd start fights after he'd spoken to his mother. She gave him an ultimatum: reduce contact with his mother or they're done. He chose his mother immediately. She was shocked he'd pick his mother over her. He explained his mother had been in his life for decades and wasn't going anywhere. She tried turning his friends against him. His friends said she was insane for being jealous of his mother. She posted on social media about men being too attached to their mothers. Comments roasted her for being jealous of her boyfriend's mom. She became known as the girl who was jealous of her boyfriend's mother. Dating became impossible because men avoided her. The stupidity was being jealous of your boyfriend's mother, competing with a parent for attention, giving ultimatums about family relationships, thinking you could make him choose between you and his mom, and being single because you were jealous of a parental relationship. 10. A man became jealous of his wife's yoga instructor and demanded she quit yoga or take classes with only female instructors. She'd been doing yoga for years. Her instructor happened to be male. Her husband suddenly decided this was inappropriate. He said yoga positions were too sexual. He accused her of wanting to be near the instructor. She explained yoga is exercise. He said male instructors shouldn't touch female students for adjustments. She said adjustments are normal and professional. He demanded she quit or find a female instructor. She refused to change her routine because of irrational jealousy. He started showing up at her yoga classes to monitor. The studio asked him to leave. He was banned for disruptive behavior. She was embarrassed. She divorced him over his controlling jealousy. He told people she chose yoga over him. Everyone sided with her. Dating apps rejected his profile after multiple women reported his jealousy issues. He claimed he was just being protective. Nobody agreed. The stupidity was being jealous of a yoga instructor, sexualizing exercise classes, monitoring your wife at the gym, getting banned from fitness studios, and getting divorced by being jealous of fitness professionals. 11. A woman became jealous of her husband's weight loss and attention he received from losing 100 pounds. He'd lost significant weight through hard work. People congratulated him constantly. She became resentful of the attention. She'd make comments about people only caring because he looked better. She said nobody noticed when she did things. She started sabotaging his diet by bringing home junk food. She'd get angry when he declined unhealthy meals. She said he was becoming vain. She accused him of losing weight to attract other women. He explained he'd done it for health. She said he was getting too much attention and it was making her invisible. She demanded he stop going to the gym so much. She said his weight loss changed their relationship. He realized she preferred him overweight and unhealthy. He divorced her when he understood she was sabotaging his health. She told people he'd changed after losing weight. He explained she'd been jealous of his health improvements. Everyone supported him. She struggled with relationships after people learned she'd sabotaged her husband's weight loss. The stupidity was being jealous of your spouse's health improvements, sabotaging someone's diet out of jealousy, preferring your partner unhealthy so you feel secure, resenting positive attention, and losing your marriage by being jealous of weight loss. 12. A man became jealous of his girlfriend's work promotions and career success. She was promoted to senior management. He worked in a different field making less money. He became increasingly resentful of her success. He'd make dismissive comments about her job. He said she was too focused on her career. He accused her of thinking she was better than him. When she celebrated promotions, he'd sulk. He refused to attend work events with her. He said being around her successful colleagues made him feel bad. She tried being supportive of his career too. He said she was rubbing her success in his face. He demanded she turn down a promotion to spend more time with him. She refused. He accused her of choosing her career over him. She ended the relationship because he couldn't be happy for her. He told people she was a workaholic. She explained he'd been jealous of her success. Mutual friends sided with her completely. He struggled to date successful women after word spread. He claimed he wanted an equal partner, but everyone knew he wanted someone less successful than him. The stupidity was being jealous of your partner's career success, feeling threatened by her making more money, trying to hold her back professionally, demanding she turn down promotions, and being single because you can't handle successful women. 13. A woman became jealous of her husband's hobby of restoring classic cars and the time he spent in his garage. He'd restored cars for decades before meeting her. She knew about his hobby when they married. After marriage, she became resentful of the time he spent on his hobby. She'd complain whenever he was in the garage. She said the cars were more important to him than her. He'd spend a few hours weekly on restoration. She demanded he sell all the cars and quit the hobby. She said hobbies were for single people. She started damaging his tools and parts. She'd throw away restoration supplies, claiming they were junk. During one argument, she keyed one of his restored cars. He called police. She was charged with criminal mischief. He divorced her over the destruction of property. She had to pay thousands in restitution. She told people he loved cars more than her. He explained she'd been jealous of a hobby and destroyed his property. Everyone sided with him. She couldn't understand why destroying his things made her the villain. The stupidity was being jealous of a hobby, competing with inanimate objects for attention, destroying property out of jealousy, facing criminal charges, and getting divorced by being jealous of classic cars. 14. A man became jealous of his wife's best friend and the time they spent together. His wife had a best friend since childhood. They talked daily and met for lunch weekly. He became convinced their friendship was too close. He'd make comments about his wife caring more about her friend than him. He demanded she reduce contact with her friend. She refused. The friend had been in her life for decades. He started arguments before she'd meet her friend. He'd call and text constantly during their lunches. He accused them of talking about him. He gave her an ultimatum, the friendship or the marriage. She chose her friend without hesitation. He was shocked she'd pick a friend over her husband. She explained he was controlling and jealous over a platonic friendship. Her friends supported her through the divorce. Everyone in their social circle sided with her. He tried claiming the friendship was inappropriate. Nobody believed him. He became known as the guy who was jealous of his wife's best friend. Dating became difficult because women saw it as a red flag. The stupidity was being jealous of a platonic friendship, trying to isolate your wife from her friends, giving ultimatums about childhood friendships, thinking you could make her choose, and getting divorced by being jealous of her best friend. 15. A woman became jealous of her boyfriend's niece and the affection he showed the child. He was close with his family and loved his niece. He'd babysit occasionally and attend her school events. His girlfriend became resentful of the attention he gave the child. She'd complain when he'd talk about his niece. She said he acted more excited about the kid than her. When he'd babysit, she'd demand he cancel to spend time with her instead. She said he was prioritizing a child over their relationship. She refused to attend family events if the niece would be there. She gave him an ultimatum about reducing time with his niece. His family was horrified. His sister told him his girlfriend was disturbed for being jealous of a child. He immediately broke up with her. She claimed she wasn't jealous of a kid, just wanted more attention. Everyone disagreed. She became known in their community as the woman jealous of her boyfriend's niece. Dating became impossible because men saw her as unstable. She still didn't understand what she'd done wrong. The stupidity was being jealous of a child, competing with your boyfriend's niece for attention, trying to make him choose between family and you, thinking ultimatums about children would work, and being single because you were jealous of his relationship with a little girl. 16. A man became jealous of his wife's charitable work and volunteer activities. She volunteered at a homeless shelter weekly. She'd done this for years. He became resentful of the time she spent helping others. He'd complain about her volunteer schedule. He said she cared more about strangers than her own husband. He demanded she quit volunteering. She said helping others was important to her. He accused her of wanting to be around other volunteers. He said she was avoiding spending time at home. When she refused to quit, he started sabotaging her volunteer work. He'd create emergencies right before her shifts. He'd pick fights to make her too upset to leave. He'd hide her car keys. The shelter staff noticed her increasing absences. When they asked, she explained her husband's jealousy. Staff suggested the relationship was controlling. She realized he was right. She divorced him and continued volunteering. He told people she chose the homeless over him. Everyone thought he was terrible for being jealous of charity work. He became known as the guy who hated helping people. Nobody wanted to date someone that selfish. The stupidity was being jealous of volunteer work, resenting your wife helping others, trying to sabotage charity work, thinking strangers were romantic competition, and being single because you were jealous of homeless people getting help. 17. A woman became jealous of her husband's late work hours and the female coworkers he worked with. He worked in a busy office with male and female colleagues. Sometimes work required late hours. She became convinced he was having affairs with coworkers. She'd call him constantly at work. She'd show up at his office unannounced. She'd demand to meet all his female coworkers. She accused him of affairs with no evidence. She'd go through his phone, computer, and emails obsessively. She found nothing because nothing was happening. She hired a private investigator who confirmed he was faithful. She still didn't believe it. She started calling his coworkers, accusing them of sleeping with her husband. His employer was notified. HR spoke to him about his wife's harassment. He was embarrassed. His coworkers were uncomfortable. His career was damaged by her jealousy. He divorced her. She still believed he'd been cheating despite all evidence showing otherwise. She refused therapy. She remained convinced of betrayal that never happened. The stupidity was being jealous of coworkers without cause, harassing innocent people, hiring investigators who found nothing, refusing to believe evidence, and destroying your husband's career with baseless jealousy. 18. A man became jealous of his girlfriend's close relationship with her elderly grandmother. She visited her grandmother weekly at a nursing home. He resented the time she spent with her grandmother. He'd complain about weekend visits. He said she should spend that time with him instead. He demanded she reduce visits. She explained her grandmother was 95 and she wanted to spend time with her while possible. He said he came first, not her grandmother. He refused to visit with her. He'd sulk when she left for visits. After her grandmother passed away, he said, "Now you can spend more time with me." She was horrified he'd said that at her grandmother's funeral. She broke up with him immediately. He claimed he was just trying to be supportive. Her family heard what he'd said. Everyone despised him. She told everyone he'd been jealous of her dying grandmother. The community was disgusted. He couldn't date anyone locally because of his reputation. He moved away to escape the judgment. The stupidity was being jealous of someone's elderly grandmother, resenting end-of-life family visits, making someone's death about you, being inappropriate at a funeral, and having to move because you were jealous of a 95-year-old woman. 19. A woman became jealous of her husband's happiness after he started taking antidepressants. He'd struggled with depression for years. He started medication and therapy. His mood improved significantly. He was happier, more engaged, and more social. She became resentful of his improvement. She'd make comments about him being different now. She said she missed the old him. She accused him of not needing her anymore. When he'd laugh with friends, she'd say he never laughed like that with her. She started undermining his treatment. She'd hide his medication. She'd discourage therapy. She said he was fine without treatment. His therapist recognized what was happening. The therapist explained she was threatened by his recovery. She seemed to need him dependent and depressed. He realized she preferred him mentally ill because it made her feel needed. He divorced her and continued treatment. She claimed he'd changed and she didn't know him anymore. He explained she'd sabotaged his mental health. Mental health advocates condemned her behavior publicly. The stupidity was being jealous of your spouse's mental health recovery, preferring him depressed, sabotaging treatment, thinking his happiness threatened you, and losing your marriage by being jealous of antidepressants helping him. 20. A man became jealous of his wife's education and went to extreme lengths to prevent her from finishing her degree. She was completing her bachelor's degree. He'd married her when she was 2 years from graduation. She continued taking classes while working. He became increasingly sabotaging. He'd create emergencies before exams. He'd pick fights during study time. He'd delete her assignments from her computer. He said education was making her think she was better than him. He demanded she drop out. She refused. He threw her textbooks in the trash. He canceled her tuition payments without telling her. She was dropped from classes. When she discovered what he'd done, she took out student loans to re-enroll. He was furious she'd defied him. She graduated despite his sabotage. She divorced him at graduation. She pressed charges for the destroyed property and financial sabotage. He was ordered to pay restitution. Everyone at her graduation knew what he'd done. He was publicly shamed. The stupidity was being jealous of your wife's education, sabotaging someone's degree, destroying property and finances, thinking education made her better than you, and facing legal consequences by being jealous of college classes. 21. A woman became jealous of her boyfriend's therapy sessions and the emotional growth he was achieving. He'd started therapy for childhood trauma. Therapy was helping him significantly. He was processing emotions and developing better coping skills. She became threatened by his emotional development. She'd say therapy was changing him. She accused him of sharing things with his therapist he didn't share with her. He explained therapy is confidential and necessary. She demanded to attend his sessions. He refused. She became increasingly controlling. She'd time his appointments and get upset if they ran long. She'd interrogate him afterward about what was discussed. She said if he really loved her, he'd tell her everything. His therapist identified her behavior as controlling. He realized the relationship was unhealthy. He ended it. She blamed therapy for breaking them up. He explained she couldn't handle him getting healthier. Friends supported him completely. She told people therapy ruined their relationship. Everyone disagreed. Her jealousy did. The stupidity was being jealous of therapy, feeling threatened by emotional growth, trying to control healthcare, thinking you're entitled to confidential information, and losing your boyfriend by being jealous of him becoming mentally healthier. 22. A man became jealous of his girlfriend's cat and the affection she showed her pet. She'd had the cat for 10 years before meeting him. He moved in and immediately resented the cat. He'd get angry when she pet the cat. He complained the cat got to sleep in bed with them. He said she talked to the cat more than him. He demanded she get rid of the cat. She refused. The cat was family. He started being cruel to the cat when she wasn't home. The cat became afraid of him. She noticed the cat's behavior change. She set up a camera and caught him yelling at and pushing the cat. She immediately kicked him out. She filed a police report for animal cruelty. She got a restraining order. She told everyone what he'd done. He was banned from every animal shelter. Dating apps rejected him after multiple reports. He claimed he wasn't jealous, just didn't like cats. The videos proved otherwise. He remained single because women wouldn't date someone cruel to animals. The stupidity was being jealous of a cat, abusing an animal out of jealousy, getting caught on camera, facing legal consequences, and being permanently single because you were jealous of a pet. 23. A woman became jealous of her husband's workout routine and the attention he got after getting fit. He started going to the gym regularly. He lost weight and gained muscle. People complimented his appearance. She became resentful. She'd make comments about him showing off. She accused him of working out to attract other women. She said he was becoming obsessed with his appearance. She started sabotaging his fitness by buying junk food and pressuring him to eat it. She'd schedule things during his gym time. She said he was neglecting her for the gym. When he refused to quit, she started fights constantly. She told people he'd become vain and shallow. His friends said she was threatened by his improvement. He realized she wanted him out of shape. He divorced her and continued his fitness journey. She gained weight and became bitter. She posted on social media about men who prioritized the gym. Comments told her the problem was her jealousy, not his fitness. The stupidity was being jealous of your husband's fitness, sabotaging his health, preferring him out of shape, thinking working out meant cheating, and getting divorced by being jealous of the gym. 24. A man became jealous of his wife's career success after she became her company's CEO. She'd worked for years to reach executive level. She was promoted to CEO. Her salary tripled his. He became insufferable. He'd make snide comments about her success. He said she was too busy being important for her family. He demanded she turn down the promotion. She refused. He started undermining her at home. He'd create problems requiring her attention during important work events. He'd call her repeatedly during meetings. He complained to their friends that she was never home. Friends pointed out she worked normal hours. He insisted successful women make bad wives. She overheard him saying this at a party. She announced she wanted a divorce at the same party. He was humiliated publicly. The divorce settlement was favorable to her as the higher earner. She continued being CEO successfully. He struggled to date because women knew he couldn't handle successful partners. The stupidity was being jealous of your wife's CEO position, being threatened by her success, trying to undermine her career, thinking women should stay less successful, and getting divorced publicly because you were jealous of her promotion. 25. A woman became jealous of her boyfriend's recovery from alcoholism and the support he received from AA. He'd been sober for 2 years through AA. He attended meetings regularly. He had a sponsor and sponsored others. She became resentful of the time he spent on recovery. She'd complain about meetings. She said he cared more about AA than her. She'd pressure him to drink socially. She said one drink wouldn't hurt. She accused him of using recovery as an excuse to avoid her. She started drinking heavily around him. She'd leave alcohol in obvious places. His sponsor recognized she was threatening his sobriety. The sponsor and others in recovery told him the relationship was dangerous. He ended it to protect his sobriety. She said he chose AA over her. He explained he'd chosen life over her sabotage. Recovery communities shared her behavior as a warning. She became known as someone who sabotages sobriety. She couldn't date anyone in recovery. She refused to acknowledge her actions were wrong. The stupidity was being jealous of AA meetings, sabotaging someone's sobriety, trying to make an alcoholic drink, thinking recovery was competition, and being blacklisted by entire communities for being jealous of sobriety. 26. A man became jealous of his girlfriend's online following and social media presence. She was a successful influencer with significant followers. She posted lifestyle content. He became increasingly jealous of her online attention. He'd read comments and get angry at compliments. He said male followers were inappropriate. He demanded she stop posting. She explained it was her career. He started appearing in her photos uninvited. He'd make possessive comments on her posts. He'd DM her male followers threatening them. Her followers started complaining. Her sponsors noticed the drama. She was losing business because of him. She ended the relationship. He posted about her publicly, violating her privacy. She got a restraining order. He was banned from platforms for harassment. His behavior became a case study in toxic jealousy. Nobody would date him after seeing his online behavior. The stupidity was being jealous of Instagram followers, harassing strangers online, threatening commenters, ruining her career, and being banned from social media by being jealous of people who liked her posts. 27. A woman became jealous of her husband's close friendship with his college roommate. He'd been best friends with his former roommate for 20 years. They talked regularly and met monthly. She decided the friendship was too close. She said grown men shouldn't be that close with friends. She accused them of inappropriate feelings. She demanded he end the friendship. He refused. She started claiming the friend was trying to ruin their marriage. She'd refuse to let the friend visit. She'd cancel plans he'd made with his friend. She gave him an ultimatum, her or the friend. He chose his friend of 20 years. She was shocked. He explained the friend had been there through everything and wasn't going anywhere. She tried convincing mutual friends the relationship was strange. Everyone sided with him. She became known as the woman jealous of her husband's best friend. Therapy revealed deep insecurity issues. She struggled to maintain any relationship after that. The stupidity was being jealous of a platonic friendship, sexualizing male friendship, giving ultimatums about best friends, thinking you could make him choose, and being alone because you were jealous of his college roommate. 28. A man became jealous of his wife's deceased father and the way she mourned him. Her father had passed away 2 years before they married. She'd visit his grave monthly. She'd mention memories of him occasionally. He became resentful of her continued mourning. He said she should be over it by now. He complained when she visited the grave. He said she thought about her father more than him. He demanded she stop visiting the grave so frequently. She was horrified by his jealousy of her dead father. He said keeping memories alive meant she wasn't moving forward. At family events, when people mentioned her father, he'd change the subject. Her family noticed and confronted him. He said they all needed to move on. Her mother was appalled. She divorced him for being jealous of her deceased father. Everyone sided with her completely. He claimed he was just trying to help her move forward. Nobody believed him. He couldn't date anyone who knew the story. The stupidity was being jealous of a dead parent, timing someone's grief, trying to control memorial visits, competing with deceased father for attention, and getting divorced by being jealous of how your wife mourned her dad. 29. A woman became jealous of her boyfriend's plants and the care he gave his indoor garden. He had an extensive collection of houseplants. He'd spend an hour daily caring for them. She became resentful of the time and attention. She'd make comments about him caring more about plants than her. She said watering plants wasn't quality time with her. She demanded he get rid of most of the plants. He refused. He'd cultivated them for years. She started accidentally killing his plants. She'd overwater them or put them in wrong light. She'd knock them over. When several rare plants died, he set up cameras. He caught her deliberately damaging his plants. He confronted her with video evidence. She admitted she was jealous of the attention he gave them. He ended the relationship immediately. He shared her behavior with plant enthusiast communities online. She became infamous in those communities. She couldn't understand why destroying his hobby made her the villain. The stupidity was being jealous of houseplants, destroying someone's plants out of jealousy, competing with foliage for attention, getting caught on camera, and being infamous online for being jealous of plants. 30. A man became jealous of his wife's reading habit and the time she spent with books. She'd read for an hour before bed nightly. She'd been doing this her entire life. He decided this was a problem after marriage. He'd interrupt her reading constantly. He'd say she chose books over him. He'd hide her books. He'd turn off her reading light. He demanded she stop reading before bed. She explained reading helped her relax. He said talking to him should relax her. She tried explaining everyone needs personal time. He saw personal time as rejection. He threw away her books during an argument. She called police for destruction of property. She filed for divorce. He told people she loved books more than him. Her reading club raised money to replace her destroyed books. They shared his behavior online. He became known as the man who was jealous of books. Dating became impossible. Women refused second dates when they learned he'd been jealous of reading. The stupidity was being jealous of books, destroying someone's property, thinking reading meant rejection, facing charges for property destruction, and being single because you were jealous of literature. 31. A woman became jealous of her husband's time spent with his terminally ill sister. His sister was dying of cancer. He visited her weekly and called daily. She had months to live. His wife resented the time and emotional energy. She'd complain about visits. She said he was too focused on his sister. She demanded he reduce visits. He explained his sister was dying. She said that wasn't her problem. She refused to visit with him. She'd pick fights before he'd leave to visit his sister. After his sister passed away, she said, "Now we can get back to normal." He was disgusted. He filed for divorce while still grieving. His family heard what she'd said. They supported his divorce completely. She claimed she was just frustrated with his absence. His family called her a monster. The community ostracized her. She had to move away. She couldn't get anyone to date her after word spread. The stupidity was being jealous of a dying woman, resenting end-of-life visits, making someone's death about you, showing zero compassion, and being ostracized by an entire community for being jealous of your husband spending time with his dying sister. 32. A man became jealous of his girlfriend's journaling habit and demanded to read her private thoughts. She kept a private journal where she processed her feelings. He discovered it and demanded to read it. She refused. It was private. He accused her of hiding things. He said if she loved him, she'd have no secrets. He tried reading it when she wasn't home. She'd hidden it. He searched her belongings obsessively. He found it and read it without permission. Her journal contained private thoughts about everything, including occasional frustrations with him. He confronted her about things she'd written. She was horrified he'd violated her privacy. He said her writing proved she didn't love him. She explained journals are private processing. He demanded she stop journaling or show him everything she wrote. She ended the relationship immediately. She explained to everyone he'd violated her privacy. Friends supported her completely. He insisted he had a right to know her thoughts. Therapists he consulted explained this was controlling behavior. He refused to accept it. The stupidity was being jealous of a journal, violating someone's privacy, demanding access to private thoughts, thinking you're entitled to someone's inner monologue, and being single because you were jealous of a notebook. 33. A woman became jealous of her husband's time spent helping his elderly mother with household tasks. His mother was 80 and needed help with maintenance and repairs. He'd spend a few hours weekly helping her. His wife became resentful. She said he was choosing his mother over her. She demanded he hire someone instead. He said he wanted to help his mother personally. She said his time should be spent on their home. She'd schedule things deliberately during times he'd help his mother. She'd create emergencies requiring his attention. His mother noticed and felt guilty. She offered to hire help so she wouldn't cause problems. He was furious his wife was making his mother feel guilty. He told his wife his mother would always be a priority. She demanded couples counseling. The counselor sided with him completely. The counselor identified her jealousy as unreasonable. She refused to accept it. He divorced her. Everyone sided with him. She claimed she just wanted more time together. Nobody believed jealousy of elder care was justified. The stupidity was being jealous of an elderly woman needing help, competing with your husband's mother, making an 80-year-old feel guilty, thinking household repairs were choosing someone over you, and getting divorced by being jealous of your husband helping his aging mother. 34. A man became jealous of his wife's past relationships and constantly interrogated her about ex-boyfriends from decades ago. They'd both had previous relationships. He became obsessed with her past. He'd demand details about every relationship. He'd ask about physical intimacy. He'd get upset about things that happened before they met. He'd compare himself to her exes constantly. He'd look up her ex-boyfriends on social media and show her their profiles. He'd ask why she dated them and not men like him. She explained the past was the past. He said he needed to understand her relationship history. His interrogations became daily. She felt like she was being punished for having a past. His jealousy consumed their relationship. She went to therapy alone because he refused. Her therapist identified this as retroactive jealousy and controlling behavior. She filed for divorce. He claimed he just wanted to understand her. She explained normal people don't interrogate spouses about ancient history. Everyone sided with her. He remained single because women wouldn't tolerate his obsession with their pasts. The stupidity was being jealous of relationships that ended before you met, interrogating your wife about ancient history, punishing someone for having a past, thinking you're entitled to intimate details, and getting divorced by being jealous of ex-boyfriends from decades ago. 35. A woman became jealous of her boyfriend's daughter from a previous marriage and demanded he reduce visitation. He had shared custody of his daughter. She became resentful of time he spent with his child. She'd complain about visitation weekends. She said he prioritized his daughter over her. She demanded he reduce custody to spend more time with her. She'd schedule things deliberately during his daughter's visits. She'd refuse to be around when his daughter visited. She made negative comments about the child. His daughter felt unwelcome and uncomfortable. His daughter told him she didn't want to visit anymore because of his girlfriend. He immediately ended the relationship. His ex-wife documented the girlfriend's behavior. He got increased custody because his daughter felt rejected. He told everyone she'd been jealous of his child. Mutual friends were disgusted. She claimed she wasn't jealous, just wanted attention. Nobody believed her. She became known as the woman who was jealous of her boyfriend's daughter. She remained single. The stupidity was being jealous of a child, competing with your boyfriend's daughter, trying to reduce custody, making a kid feel unwanted, and being alone forever because you were jealous of his parental relationship. 36. A man became jealous of his wife's postpartum focus on their newborn baby. They had a baby and his wife was focused on caring for the infant. He became resentful of her attention to the baby. He'd complained she only cared about the baby. He said she never paid attention to him anymore. He demanded equal attention. She explained newborns require constant care. He said he needed her too. He'd interrupt feedings to talk to her. He'd complain during diaper changes. He wanted sex immediately after birth despite medical advice. When she focused on the baby, he'd accuse her of loving the baby more than him. She was exhausted and horrified by his behavior. Her mother witnessed his jealousy. Her mother helped her file for divorce. The pediatrician noted his behavior as concerning. His jealousy of his own newborn was documented. He got minimal custody because of fitness concerns. Everyone thought he was disturbed. He couldn't date anyone willing to have children. The stupidity was being jealous of your newborn baby, competing with an infant for attention, expecting equal focus during newborn care, endangering a baby's well-being with your jealousy, and losing custody by being jealous of your own child. 37. A woman became jealous of her husband's job and the sense of purpose it gave him. He loved his career teaching high school. He'd talk enthusiastically about his students and lessons. She became resentful of his job satisfaction. She'd make dismissive comments about teaching. She said he was more excited about work than her. She demanded he find a different career. He asked why. He loved teaching. She said he shouldn't love anything more than her, including his job. She started calling him at work constantly. She'd show up at school unannounced. School administration spoke to him about her disruptive behavior. She was banned from campus. She demanded he quit teaching. He refused. She gave him an ultimatum, teaching or marriage. He chose teaching. She was shocked. He explained he'd never be with someone jealous of his career. Students heard what happened. They made cards thanking him for staying. His story went viral. She was identified and mocked nationally. The stupidity was being jealous of a job, resenting your husband's career satisfaction, thinking he should love you more than his profession, getting banned from a school, and becoming nationally mocked for being jealous of high school teaching. 38. A man became jealous of his girlfriend's therapy dog and the emotional support the dog provided. She had PTSD and a prescribed therapy dog. The dog helped her manage symptoms. He became jealous of the dog's role. He'd say she relied on the dog more than him. He demanded she get rid of the therapy dog. She explained it was medical necessity. He said he should be her emotional support. He started preventing the dog from being near her. He'd lock the dog in other rooms. Her PTSD symptoms worsened. Her therapist noticed. She explained her boyfriend's jealousy of her service animal. The therapist said this was dangerous. She ended the relationship. She reported him for interfering with a service animal. He faced legal consequences. Mental health communities condemned his behavior. He became an example of toxic behavior in support groups. The stupidity was being jealous of a therapy dog, interfering with medical treatment, thinking you can replace psychiatric service animals, facing legal consequences, and being an infamous example of toxic jealousy in mental health communities. 39. A woman became jealous of her husband's time spent caring for his elderly dog. He had a dog that was 15 years old. The dog needed extra care and medication. He'd spend time with the aging dog. She became resentful. She'd complain about the time spent on the old dog. She said he should just put the dog down. He was horrified she'd suggest euthanizing a healthy dog. She said the dog was taking up too much of his time. She demanded he choose, her or the dog. He chose the dog immediately. She was shocked. He explained anyone jealous of an elderly dog had serious problems. He told everyone what she'd said. The community was disgusted. Animal lovers organized against her online. She lost her job when her employer saw her behavior. She became unemployable locally. She had to move away. The stupidity was being jealous of a 15-year-old dog, suggesting euthanizing a healthy pet out of jealousy, giving ultimatums about elderly animals, being publicly condemned, and becoming unemployable for being jealous of an old dog. 40. A man became jealous of his wife's artistic talent and the praise she received for her paintings. She was a talented amateur painter. She'd sell paintings occasionally. People complimented her work. He became increasingly bitter. He'd make dismissive comments about her art. He said people only complimented her to be nice. He accused her of showing off. When she had a gallery showing, he refused to attend. When she sold paintings, he said she was wasting time. He started accidentally damaging her artwork. He spilled drinks on paintings. He'd bump into canvases. She realized the pattern. She confronted him. He admitted he was jealous of her talent. She moved her art supplies to a studio space. She filed for divorce. She had a successful art career. He remained bitter and alone. People avoided him at events. He became known as the man jealous of his wife's art. The stupidity was being jealous of artistic talent, sabotaging someone's artwork, thinking praise for her paintings threatened you, destroying property, and being alone because you were jealous of paintings. 41. A woman became jealous of her boyfriend's love of hiking and the peace he found in nature. He hiked every weekend for mental health. She became resentful of his hiking. She'd complain about him choosing hiking over her. She'd refuse to join him. She demanded he stop hiking so much. He explained hiking was how he managed stress. She said she should be enough for his happiness. She'd plan things during hiking times deliberately. She'd create emergencies requiring him to skip hikes. His mental health deteriorated without his coping mechanism. His therapist identified her sabotage. He ended the relationship and resumed hiking. His mental health improved immediately. She posted online about men who prioritize hobbies. Comments told her the problem was her controlling jealousy. She argued with everyone. She became a meme about toxic jealousy. The stupidity was being jealous of hiking, sabotaging someone's mental health coping mechanism, thinking you should be someone's only source of happiness, preventing healthy activities, and becoming an internet meme about jealousy. 42. A man became jealous of his wife's pregnancy glow and the compliments she received about looking radiant. She was pregnant and people told her she looked beautiful. He became resentful of the compliments. He'd make snide comments about her appearance. He said people were just being nice because she was pregnant. He'd criticize her pregnancy body privately. He said she was getting too much attention. When strangers complimented her, he'd correct them. He said pregnancy made her moody and difficult. Her doctor witnessed his behavior. The doctor noted concerns about emotional abuse. His wife filed for divorce during pregnancy. She got full custody. He was ordered to pay child support. Everyone knew why she'd divorced him. He couldn't date anyone because women knew he'd been jealous of his pregnant wife's pregnancy glow. The stupidity was being jealous of pregnancy compliments, resenting your wife looking radiant, criticizing a pregnant woman's body, being documented by medical professionals, and losing your family because you were jealous of people saying your pregnant wife looked beautiful. 43. A woman became jealous of her husband's PhD program and the intellectual stimulation he was receiving. He enrolled in a doctoral program. He'd discuss his research with excitement. She became resentful of his intellectual engagement. She said he was becoming too smart for her. She accused him of thinking he was better than her. She started sabotaging his studies. She'd create distractions during study time. She'd hide his research materials. She'd delete his dissertation drafts. When he was getting close to finishing, she gave him an ultimatum: quit the program or divorce. He chose the program and divorce. He finished his PhD. She told people he chose education over family. Everyone sided with him. Academics shared her story as an example of toxic partners. She became infamous in academic circles. Nobody in higher education would date her. The stupidity was being jealous of a PhD program, sabotaging someone's education, thinking learning made him better than you, destroying dissertation work, and being infamous in academic communities for being jealous of doctoral studies. 44. A man became jealous of his girlfriend's relationship with her hairstylist and the personal conversations they had. She saw the same stylist monthly. They'd chat during appointments. He became convinced something inappropriate was happening. He'd interrogate her about conversations. He demanded she switch stylists. She refused. She liked her stylist. He started showing up at her appointments. The salon asked him to leave. He was banned for harassment. He demanded she find a salon he approved of. She ended the relationship instead. She explained to everyone he'd been jealous of her hairstylist. Salon workers shared his behavior online. He was recognized and banned from multiple salons. His next girlfriend left him when she learned he'd been jealous of a hairstylist. He remained single. The stupidity was being jealous of a hairstylist, sexualizing professional appointments, getting banned from salons for harassment, trying to control where she got haircuts, and being single because you were jealous of someone cutting hair. 45. And finally, a woman became jealous of her husband's relationship with his childhood teddy bear and demanded he throw it away. He'd kept a teddy bear from childhood. It had sentimental value. It sat on a shelf in his office. She decided the bear was ridiculous for a grown man. She'd make mocking comments about it. She said grown men shouldn't have stuffed animals. He explained it was a childhood memento. She became increasingly agitated about the bear's presence. She said the bear represented his inability to grow up. She demanded he throw it away. He refused. She threw the bear away without telling him. He discovered it was gone. She admitted she'd thrown it away. He was devastated. It was irreplaceable. He filed for divorce over the incident. She thought he was joking. He explained throwing away someone's childhood memories was unforgivable. She said it was just a stuffed animal. He said it was about respect and her jealousy of an inanimate object. She told people he divorced her over a teddy bear. Everyone sided with him. They explained the issue wasn't the bear, but her destroying his property out of jealous spite. She claimed she wasn't jealous of a toy. He had texts where she'd written she felt like you love that bear more than me. She'd literally been jealous of a childhood stuffed animal. She became an internet meme. Relationship advice forums used her story as an example of toxic behavior. Dating became impossible because men would Google her and find the teddy bear story. Years later, she still couldn't understand why destroying a childhood memento made everyone think she was terrible. The stupidity was being jealous of a childhood teddy bear, destroying irreplaceable sentimental items, thinking stuffed animals were romantic competition, getting divorced over your jealousy of a toy, becoming an internet meme, and remaining single forever because you admitted in writing that you were jealous of a stuffed bear from childhood, proving that jealousy can literally be directed at anything if someone is insecure enough, even inanimate objects with button eyes and stuffing. These jealousy stories show that some people can become jealous of literally anything if they're insecure enough. The stupidest jealousies combined irrationality, controlling behavior, and destroyed relationships over things that weren't threats, proving that jealousy says more about the jealous person than the object of jealousy. Subscribe to remember that jealousy should be rational, that not everything is competition, and that being jealous of books, pets, jobs, hobbies, or teddy bears makes you look insane, not protective.